Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This video is going to be pretty much explaining some confusing Battlefield settings that aren't in other games, and just general settings that I see a lot of people talk about online, and they don't really know what it does, or they're very confused about what it does, or they're wrong about what it does, and all that sort of stuff. So, if you like this sort of content, hit the like button. We're really close to 10,000 subscribers, and the 10,000 subscriber montage is very, very soon. The editor for the montage is going to be Ascend Sulajek, so that is going to be insane. Very, very excited for that. So, what are some common settings that people get confused, or they're just some misinterpretations of? So, first, the number one thing, at least in Battlefield 5, and guys, I'm using Battlefield 5 because this is the most recent Battlefield game, and I believe this is what Battlefield 2042 is going to be most similar to settings-wise. So, could be wrong, could be right, but I figured there's no point in going back to, like, you know, Battlefield 4 to make a settings video here. So, whenever someone asks me for my FOV, especially in Battlefield 5, they go, oh, which number are you talking about? You know, whenever I tell people about FOV, whenever I say my FOV number, I'm talking about the number that is displayed right here. So if someone were to ask me what my FOV is right now, it would be 89, not 105 like you see on the right there. That is just that's a really quick thing that people get confused with. Whenever I talk about FOV, I'm talking about this number right here. As far as just another quick thing we can get out of the way, people always ask me, how the hell do you get custom colors? Well, it's actually hidden within your colorblind settings. See custom color settings here in Video Basic. It should be off or maybe set to some sort of default setting. Actually, it will be off when you come and look in here. So, way to get custom colors is you scroll through all this colorblind settings and it goes to custom and allows you to, well, customize it. So yeah, that's how you get that. Another setting people confuse. I'm not entirely sure this will be in 2042. I don't really see why it wouldn't, so we'll go over it anyway. People read future frame rendering and really think they should have it off because when they read it, it says, the game will buffer future frames, increasing visual smoothness, but increasing input lag. Now, I think this is kind of just... people turn this off because they see increasing input lag. But what they don't understand is you're gaining a substantial amount of FPS, which reduces your frame times, which reduces input lag. So any sort of input lag you're going to get from having this on is negated by the amount of frames you're gaining. Yeah. So... some other general things people get confused about. ADS field of view. This is a setting that, well, more and more games are having, but people are still kind of confused about it. What it means is, so this is off by default. What off does is it sets, whenever you ADS, which I'll do right now, you see my FOV how it is right now? When you ADS, it zooms. See? But it zooms to a fixed FOV of 55. Now, when you turn this on, you negate that. Now, what this does is, see my FOV right now, and when I ADS, at least with the 1X, see, it's the exact same FOV. So, if you want to zoom with your 1X sights, turn ADS FOV off. ADS depth of field is another setting people get confused about. People confuse ADS field of view and ADS depth of field. All that ADS depth of field does is, let me turn this on. So when I ADS, do you see how the center of my screen below my weapon sight is blurry? It basically blurs stuff, and you always want to turn any sort of blur off. So I always have this off here. Another setting people really, really confuse, and it's honestly just a total mess, is uniform soldier aiming. Now, uniform soldier aiming, I'm going to be honest, like, pretty much nobody knows how this works. I won't say nobody, but it's a very confusing setting, and it's not very explained. It's not explained very well, pretty much anywhere. So what this attempts to do, ignore all the jargon on the right. They paid some intern to write that on his free time. Ignore the jargon. Basically, what it attempts to do is it tries to emulate your hipfire sensitivity with your ADS sensitivity. It tries to make it 1-to-1 or basically as close as it possibly can, and the coefficient affects that. Now, if you're using 1x sights, this right here, right? This 1x sight, you can set this number here to whatever the hell you want, and you will never notice a difference. I can set this to 0%, and it just feels the exact same as, what did I have it at? 178, or I guess it is a 300%. It feels literally the exact same with 1X sights. Now, you're going to notice this more when you equip, say, a weapon with a 3X sight, and I'll actually show that with you right now. No, I don't want to quit. Can I redeploy? Yes, I can. Fantastic. Let's equip a G43 here. Actually, wait. This game is terrible, isn't it? Yep. No, you can't do that. All right. Well, hey, Dice. Well, here. This is a good suggestion. We'll suggest this in the middle of the video. Why the fuck do you only let... Never mind. Why can't I choose my class, Dice? Anyway. Basically, with sights, I would say, like, saying 3X and up, that is where you will notice it way more than if you are using a 1X sight, because you won't notice it at all. Now, people are really confused with what you should actually set the coefficient to. That is something that I really can't help you with, honestly. Let's do a sniper action with a little 3X here, right? So, uniform soldier aiming, I like having it set to 178% because it's faster in my scope sensitivities. Now, you can also change your individual scope sensitivities, but I don't. I prefer changing it in one place rather than a bunch of places. So I just sort of find a comfortable value and go with it. Now, this is at 133%, and you'll see it's far slower. It's way slower, right? So that is essentially what uniform soldier aiming does. Mess with it. I would try 0%, 133%, and 178%. I would not try any other values. I would just try to go with those three, mess around with it, see what feels good to you. And if it doesn't feel good at all to you, then I would recommend maybe turning it off and then messing with your individual zoom sensitivities until you get what you want. Now, another thing people get really confused about is actually how to reduce screen clutter in this game. When people come into my stream and I ADS, they go, how the hell do you make everything disappear like that? See when I'm ADSing? Pay attention to this icon here, right? When I ADS, it's completely gone, as well as all of the icons right there. Basically, reducing screen clutter. Now, how you do this is, let me go in this very lovely building. Let me just, prone on this bed here. You go to Options, Gameplay Basic. Scroll all the way down. ADS icon opacity. This is essentially where you mess with that to reduce screen clutter. If you want everything to disappear, reducing screen clutter when you ADS, select set your objective icon, gadget icon, and danger ping opacities to 0%. I would even recommend setting your friendly soldier opacities to less than what this is set to. I personally play on 35%, but always make sure your enemy soldier icon opacities are at 100%, both for default and for ADS. I actually, because I'm not blind, would also recommend you to, I believe this is way higher default. All of this is really. I personally play with far lower opacities in general, just to get rid of screen clutter even more than maybe some people might want to. Now, another thing to try to reduce screen clutter if you can't stand how your minimap looks, I actually play with 100% texture opacity on my minimap, and what you'll see is, do you see in the bottom left here, my minimap is, barely, you see I can barely see the boxes through the minimap there. You go to Gameplay Basic again, you go to Minimap Texture Opacity, you can set this to, I don't know, 14%, and you'll see the minimap is a lot more see-through, and there's less, like, visible characteristics on it, I guess, which can kind of reduce screen clutter if you're worrying about that so much. But personally, I like a very detailed minimap, so I put it to 100%, and as you can see, it's far more detailed. You can see little dotted lines for paths and building edges and all that stuff. But if you can't stand how, I don't know, for some reason, if you look in your bottom left corner a lot, can't stand how it looks, that is the setting to change it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this little, Battlefield setting confusing guide. There's someone over here trying to kill me. There is. Okay, well, Ed the Dead tried to ruin that video outro, but we killed him because he's dead now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. This guy needs some help. I mean, you can just tell. He should subscribe to twitch.tv/enders as well. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this guy finally figures out what he wants to do in life. Amen.